This med school professor turned supernatural sleuth starred in a popular Egyptian novel series, and a relatively recent Netflix show provides global audiences with a look at what made the franchise tick. It's up by Matchstick, and I review Paranormal, noir with supernatural elements, which is a genre I write. Both the novels and the show share the title on the screen here, which is translated for Netflix purposes as paranormal, but could also be considered to mean beyond nature or supernatural. The author of the books is one Ahmed Khaled Towfik, a groundbreaking writer of genre fiction in Egypt whose name I hope I didn't mess up. Anyway, there were 81 of these novels. The Netflix series was adapted from several of those stories, judging by how the episode titles match up with some of the novels. Now, the books aren't in translation and I can't read Arabic, so I'm just going to be reviewing the show. But first, let's get into the background of the series. Now, let me preface this by saying that I definitely enjoyed the show, but the vibe is pretty odd. Not in a bad way at all, but it's very different. Mixing horror with humor is really hard to do, but I was under the impression at first that the point was to make a cross between the X-Files and like a more serious Mr. Bean. However, looking into the series showed me that the show is actually trying to do a balancing act. Adapt a novel series for young adults into a TV series for actual adults. The paranormal novels were written apparently for teenagers. This is kind of crazy as the main character, Dr. Refaat Ismail, I believe was in his 30s and just got older in the books. The series is known for breaking with a long-time Egyptian tradition of strong, heroic characters. Refaat carries medications around with him and is far from a heartthrob, but it is also notable for laying the groundwork for Egyptian horror, as the author is considered the godfather of Egyptian, and to a degree Arabic, speculative fiction. Published from 1993 to 2014, from when Tawfiq was roughly 30 until he was roughly 50, it seems that the paranormal book series still means a lot to people in Egypt and the Arabic-speaking world. Now, I would say that, almost certainly because of the source material, the show is a little less than serious by modern drama standards, even if it is horror. There are also visual effects issues, and unless it was my computer screwing up, there are some times where the show can literally be too dark, as in visually. Also, the overarching plot of the series isn't its best feature, even if it does resolve in a solid way. I would rather have had the entire series be like the first two episodes, which are stellar, instead of diving deep into Refaat's history as it does, but oh well. That said, the show is pretty damn awesome. While the reviews weren't all positive, the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is a sky-high 96%. The main actor, Ahmed Amin, received a lot of love for his portrayal of Dr. Refaat, and rightfully so. He's amazing and hilarious, not that the rest of the cast slacks off. The series is set in 1970s Egypt, both in Cairo and the countryside, at the tail end of a sort of Egyptian golden age, during which it was the leading cultural capital of the Arab world, and it's a cool corner of world history to get a look at. Even if it is based on a young adult series and dealing with the expectations of a nostalgic Egyptian audience, the Netflix show is well worth watching, even if one 6-episode season is all we get. The show is well set up for a second season though, so who knows. And Refaat Ismail is an amazing character. He remains a skeptic in the face of a lifetime's worth of overwhelming evidence of the supernatural, which is just funny, and he's generally sarcastic and antisocial and is very much the bitter academic. However, he still manages to do epic stuff in his paranormal adventures and come out the other side. As I said before, the character has been lauded as being more of an everyman compared to a superhero, but he's far more than that. If a writer wants some tips on how to make a protagonist stand out, check out Paranormal because this one shines. Ahmed Khaled Towfik died in 2018, 2 years before the release of the Netflix show, but he wrote almost 500 books in his life, which is insane. Only one is in translation though, like 1 out of 500. So hopefully someone's working on that. Anyway, rest in peace.